You'll probably never be old money. You might never inherit anything, and waiting for a stroke of luck might be exactly why you're still stuck in the same place. If this hurt, stay with me, because what I'm going to show you in this video might change the way you think about money forever. Before continuing, subscribe to the Sleeping Investor channel and tell me in the comments, where are you watching this video from? Tell me your city, your state. I always read the comments. Now, let's get straight to the point. There's one thing most poor people do that guarantees they'll stay poor, and it's not overspending, it's not laziness, it's not a lack of intelligence, it's trying to copy the wrong kind of rich people. Have you ever stopped to think about this? A person wakes up every day with no savings, barely able to pay the rent, living paycheck to paycheck, with that anxious feeling in their stomach at the end of the month, and at the same time watches influencers driving Ferraris, buying designer clothes, showing off expensive watches, and thinks, that's what I want. That's the problem, not the desire for a better life. The problem is the model that was chosen. Because there are many types of rich people, and most of them weren't made for you, at least not now. Let me show you. Old money. Do you know what old money is? It's that family that has had money for generations. The grandfather was rich, the father was rich, and you were born rich. You can't copy that. You didn't choose your family. I didn't choose mine. Nobody here chose theirs. Then there's the heir, the person who inherits. The uncle who dies and leaves $2 million. The family that passes real estate down from generation to generation. If you don't have that on the horizon, there's no point in counting on it as a plan. An inheritance that doesn't exist isn't a strategy. There's the celebrity rich, the artist, the actor, the influencer with 50 million followers. You can try. Some people succeed, but if you're watching this video at 28 years old, working Monday to Friday, worried about the electricity bill, that's probably not your main path, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. Athlete rich, the professional athlete, NBA, NFL, MLB, rare talent, short window. Most kids who dream of this never even get close to the professional level. And those who do often spend it all in less than 5 years because nobody taught them how to handle money. It's not their role model. Tech rich, the startup founder, the guy who created an app and sold it for 300 million. It happens. But for every Zuckerberg, there's a graveyard of startups that failed with debt, wasted time, and broken dreams. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying that if you've never had capital, connections, and the right timing, the statistical odds aren't on your side. You can try, but it can't be your only plan. Crypto rich. The guy who bought Bitcoin at $200 and sold it at $60,000, or the guy who lost everything in a cryptocurrency that existed for 3 weeks. Casinos can make you rich. They can also destroy you. Too volatile to be the main plan for someone who already has little. Real estate rich. That's interesting. Real estate works, but it requires good credit. It requires a down payment. It requires patience. It requires decades of management. Is it possible? Yes. Is it the fastest way for someone starting from scratch with $300 in the bank? No. And then there's a type of rich person that almost nobody talks about. The kind that doesn't appear on Instagram. The kind that doesn't have a YouTube channel showing off their car. The kind you wouldn't recognize on the street. The kind that doesn't wear an expensive watch. The kind that doesn't live in the nicest house in the neighborhood. It's the quiet rich, the silent rich, the patient investor, the discreet accumulator. This is the only type of wealth that is genuinely available to those who start with little. And most people completely ignore this path because it doesn't seem glamorous, because there's no viral content associated with it, because nobody applauds you for saving money when your friends are spending it. But while you were trying to look rich, that person was actually getting rich. Now I need to ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. How many months of expenses do you have saved right now? If you lost your job tomorrow, for how many months could you survive without panicking? If the answer is less than a month, you're not building anything. You're surviving. And survival isn't strategy. Survival is emergency mode. I know this hurts. I know you work. I know you don't waste money. But the reality is that earning a salary and having nothing left at the end of the month puts you in a position where any unforeseen event, any crisis, any medical emergency, any layoff becomes a catastrophe. And then comes the credit card. Then comes the debt. Then comes the hole, and the hole gets bigger. You're not behind the times because you're stupid. You're not behind the times because you were born poor. You're behind the times because nobody taught you the right system, and so you grew up trying to copy the wrong model of wealth. But that changes now. If you want to become the kind of wealthy person that's still available to you, you need to understand how the quiet rich think. Not like the guy who tries to look rich, like the one who is getting rich quietly. The quiet rich don't drive the nicest car on the street. They drive the car that doesn't have any overdue payments. The quiet rich don't wear the most expensive clothes at the party. They wear the clothes they paid for in cash and still had money left over to invest that same month. The quiet rich don't try to impress strangers. They know that stranger approval doesn't pay the rent, doesn't guarantee retirement, and doesn't take care of the family when the first big crisis hits. This type of person saves money before spending it, not what's left over. What's left over never exists. They set aside the investment amount at the beginning of the month as if it were a bill that needs to be paid, and then they live on what's left. She builds an emergency fund first, 3 months of expenses, then 6. Before any investment, this cushion needs to exist, because without it, any unforeseen event will destroy any progress. It eliminates bad debt. American credit card interest rates are absurd. 20, 25, 30% per year. You're not going to beat that number by investing. The debt needs to disappear before anything else. And after the reserve exists and the bad debts disappear, she starts investing. With $100, with $200, with whatever she can get, in index funds, in ETFs, in Roth IRAs, in 401k if the employer matches. Simple contributions, automatic, every month, non-stop. Earning $100 a month won't make you rich overnight, but it changes who you are. It transforms someone who is just surviving into someone who is building something. That transformation is the most important one there is. So here's the plan. Simple, no mystery. First, stop trying to look rich. Every real or dollar spent trying to impress someone is a brick that should have gone into your foundation and ended up in the trash. Second, build your emergency fund. 3 months' worth of expenses in a separate account. This isn't an investment. It's protection. It's what prevents you from going into debt during the first crisis. Third, eliminate bad debt. Credit cards, overdrafts, anything with high interest rates. This goes before any investment. Fourth, start investing with what you have. Don't wait to have more. The right moment doesn't come. You create the moment. $100 a month, every month, for 20 years, with historical market returns, can turn into more than $80,000. This isn't luck. This is time and discipline. Fifth, increase your contribution as your income grows. Every time you get a raise, half of that raise goes into your savings or investments. You won't even notice, and your net worth will keep growing. Sixth, measure your progress by freedom, not by appearances. You don't want to look rich. You want to reach a day when an emergency arises and you don't panic. You want to reach a day when you lose your job and have time to breathe. That's real freedom. That's what the quiet rich have. Let me be direct with you before we wrap up. You didn't choose to be born poor. I didn't choose it. Many people here didn't choose it. It's not your fault, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Nobody chooses their starting point, but continuing without a plan is a choice. Copying the habits of broke people trying to appear rich is a choice. Spending what you don't have to impress people who barely know you is a choice. And these choices have consequences that last for decades. You may never be old money. You may never inherit anything. You may never have a billion-dollar startup, but you can be the first person in your family to stop living in fear of money. The first who doesn't panic when the car breaks down. The first to retire with some savings. The first who doesn't depend on anyone to get by. This is no small thing. This is everything. The quiet rich don't shout. They don't show off. They don't ask for validation. They just keep going. Month after month. Investment after investment. Decision after decision. And one day, they look back and realize they've built something real. You can be that person, but only if you stop trying to be someone else. If this video resonated with you, please like it now. It helps me a lot and helps this content reach more people who need to hear it. Comment below, what point resonated with you the most today? What part of the script made you stop and think? I want to know. And before you close, take a look at the video that's playing on the screen right now. It continues on exactly this topic. You'll want to watch it. See you then.